As the movie opens, a white sheet-covered corpse is wheeled into a morgue by Pao, a hospital orderly. The body is briefly uncovered, revealing a beautiful young woman. Pao takes a picture of the corpse using his phone, and we learn that the woman is Anna, a renowned actress in Spain. Anna's sudden death at a party that night has left her fans in shock, and everyone is curious to know what caused her untimely demise. Pao shares the photo of Anna with his two friends, Ivan and Javi. Excited by the opportunity to see Anna's body, the duo rushes to the hospital to request a viewing. Pao obliges, and the two friends are taken to the morgue where they see Anna's lifeless body lying on the table. In the room, we see the three men standing over Anna's corpse. The two men, Ivan and Javi, are both astounded at the sight before them, but Ivan takes it a step further and reaches out to grope Anna's body. Javi immediately tells Ivan off, but it's clear that both men are struggling to resist their own desires for the beautiful woman. Despite Javi's reservations, Ivan suggests that they take advantage of Anna's body and use her for their pleasure. He argues that they have a unique opportunity to touch one of the world's most famous women, and it won't matter because she's dead. But there's a catch. Ivan isn't sure if it's even possible to sleep with a dead body. That's when Pao intervenes. He disgustingly reveals that it's entirely possible to have intercourse with a dead body as long as they use saliva as a lubricant. Pao goes on to boast to his friends even further by confessing that he has taken advantage of dead girls in the hospital before, and he's never been caught because nobody checks on the corpses anyway. Ivan is emboldened by Paul's revelations and becomes even more determined to have some alone time with Anna's corpse. Paul readily agrees to join in, but Javi is still hesitant. Javi tries to stop them, but Ivan pays no attention to him, making him frustrated. He leaves the room and Pao follows after him. From the gap in the door, Pao watches as Ivan crawls on top of Anna and violates her. Later, Ivan shows no remorse and even suggests that Javi pretend that Anna is still alive to use her body as he did. Javi is repulsed by his friend's behavior. Meanwhile, Paul returns to the room to have his turn. However, as he violates Anna's lifeless body, he suddenly realizes that her eyes are open in terror and she is alive. Paul screams in shock, scaring himself and awakening Anna from her paralyzed state. Then Javi and Ivan walk into the morgue to investigate the reason behind Paul's scream. They are left shocked and horrified at the sight of Anna being alive. While Javi wants to inform the authorities, Pao and Ivan are hesitant to do so, as they have already committed a heinous crime against her. In the midst of this chaos, Javi tries to calm Anna down by offering her a glass of water, while Pao and Ivan are panicking. Javi tries to convince his friends to seek help, but they are afraid that they will end up in jail if they do so. Their conversation is cut short when they hear the footsteps of another orderly entering the morgue with a body. In a hurry, they cover Anna's body with a white sheet and hide in the next room. The orderly comes in and wheels the new body away. Anna tries to scream for help, but the orderly's earphones and blasting music drown out her voice. She's trapped and can't seem to escape from the morgue. However, the orderly eventually leaves and Anna is left alone in the room with the hideous criminals. Meanwhile, the men who were responsible for her plight return to the morgue, still arguing about what to do. Javi is adamant about seeking help, while Pao and Ivan are scared of the police and the repercussions of their actions. They are certain that Anna will report them. The tension mounts as Javi forcefully tries to take the cart with Anna's body on it, but Ivan refuses to let go. Ivan grabs Javi, and the two men confront each other, ready for a fight, but to their surprise, they discover that the door is locked and they are trapped with Anna inside. Pao reveals that he had forgotten his keys outside, and they are stranded inside the morgue with no way out. At this point, Javi begins to scream for help, which prompts Ivan to get into a fight with him. The altercation ends in tragedy when Ivan accidentally lands a fatal blow on Javi and he collapses to the floor. Now, both Pao and Ivan are panicking because they have committed another crime. Although Javi is still alive, he is quickly losing blood and they fear the worst. Pao thinks quickly and grabs a towel to try to stem the bleeding. In a desperate attempt to save their friend's life, they drag Javi to the adjoining room and prop him up against the wall. As Javi's consciousness flickers, Ivan apologizes for what he has done and explains that he never meant to hit him that hard. The situation is tense and both Pao and Ivan are fraught with worry. They know that they have to leave and seek help, but they cannot shake the guilt they feel. As the night drags on, the situation in the morgue goes from bad to worse. Another employee unexpectedly enters the room, interrupting Paul's illegal activities. Quick to think on his feet, Paul concocts a story about being locked inside the morgue all alone, hoping to throw the other employee off his trail. However, the curious employee is not easily dissuaded and expresses a desire to see Anna's corpse. Pao realizes the gravity of the situation and quickly ushers the employee out of the morgue through the now open door. Meanwhile, in the adjacent room, Javi's condition is rapidly deteriorating. Ivan frantically attempts to revive him, but it's too late. Javi has already passed away. After successfully leading the other employee out of harm's way, Paul returns to the room to find Ivan distraught and Javi dead. The reality of this situation hits them both hard as they realize the severe consequences of their actions. They both know that they could face life in prison for what they have done tonight. As the tension in the room rises, Ivan comes up with a sinister plan to dump Javi's lifeless body outside. But just as they are about to put the plan into action, Anna speaks up. She pleads with them, promising that if they free her, she won't tell a soul about what they did. Paul is quick to believe Anna, but Ivan is far more skeptical. He insists that Anna cannot be trusted and tells Paul that they must ensure she doesn't leave the place alive. Paul protests, arguing that Ivan was the only one who killed Javi, but Ivan reminds him that he was in the room when it happened, making him an accomplice in the eyes of the law. As the group argues in the other room, Anna musters the strength to stand up. She makes her way over to Javi's body, grabs his phone, and manages to contact her father for help. As Ivan and Paul make their return, they are filled with a sense of impending misfortunes. They seem to have reached a point of no return. Anna informs them that she has only informed her father that she's awake so they can still set her free without any consequences. Despite everything, when the phone rings, he hastily tells Anna's father that he has the wrong number. Feeling hopeless, they decide to take Anna back to the morgue. However, their fears get the better of them, and in a moment of madness, Ivan attempts to strangle Anna. But he quickly comes to his senses and devises a plan. He orders Paul to tie up Anna while he goes to get a large garbage bin, which they can use to dispose of Javi's body. Next, we find Paul has gotten hold of a roll of gauze to tie up the poor victim. Despite her pleas to be let go, Paul is resolute in his decision to follow Ivan's orders. Anna, however, tries to reason with him, informing him that Ivan would pin the blame on him and reveal that he was the one who strangled Javi. She begs Paul to release her, promising not to reveal his involvement. Although torn between conscience, Paul continues to follow Ivan's orders and ties Anna up, leaving her alone momentarily. Remarkably, Anna manages to crawl her way out of the morgue, even though her legs are not functioning correctly. Meanwhile, Ivan returns to find that Anna has escaped, and he and Paul go searching for her. As she finally manages to evade them, Anna finally makes it to the elevator. She gets inside, and the doors are about to close when Ivan opens them at the last moment, dragging her back inside. Inside, the ruthless creature aka Ivan informs Paul that they need to end this tonight by killing Anna. He believes that this is the only way to ensure that their mistakes won't ever see the light of the day. Paul confronts Ivan about strangling Javi, but Ivan asks him to trust him instead of Anna. He forces Paul to focus on the matter at hand. The two men start to discuss how they should kill her. They consider using pills, but they want a method that won't leave any marks and won't be detectable during an autopsy. In a nearby closet, Ivan finds some sheets and hands them to Paul. The two men then proceed to press the sheets on Anna's face to suffocate her. After a while, Anna stops struggling, implying that she has died. After this, they retrieve the corpse of Javi from the adjoining room. Ivan brings out the garbage bin, which they use to stash Javi's corpse. Ivan then tells Pau that he will dispose of the garbage bin, while Pau will return Anna's body to the morgue lineup. However, before doing so, Paul has to make sure Anna looks the same as she did when she arrived at the hospital earlier that evening. He starts scrubbing Anna's body with a sponge to remove the marks she sustained while trying to escape. Meanwhile, Ivan pushes the garbage bin outside, leaving Javi's body on the side of a dump yard. Pau finishes cleaning up Anna's body and covers her with a white sheet. He then returns the cart to its original position. Pau grabs his backpack and prepares to leave, but he walks back to Anna's body. He pulls back the sheet and whispers to her that she has to keep playing dead in order to escape. Thus, Paul intentionally did not strangle her hard enough to kill her, creating an opportunity for her to escape when he and Ivan eventually leave. Later, Ivan inspects Anna's body, and although she is pretending, Ivan is stupid enough to not register that. The two friends then leave. As they make their way to the elevator, Ivan suddenly remembers that he has left his ID behind. Paul tries to convince him not to go back, but Ivan insists. Upon returning to the morgue, Ivan is shocked to find Anna in the middle of dressing in a hospital gown. He quickly realizes that Paul had betrayed him and helped Anna pretend that she was dead. Angry and betrayed, Ivan brutally attacks Paul, and chaos ensues once again. But amidst the chaos, Anna appears with a pair of surgical scissors. In a swift motion, she stabs Ivan repeatedly until he dies, thus saving Paul's life. Relieved that they have eliminated their attacker, Paul suggests they leave the scene. However, Anna's desire for revenge is not yet satiated. With a blank look on her face, she turns on Pa and stabs him too. Anna is determined to make Pa pay for what he did to her. She may have accepted his help in the end, but he is also the reason for the trauma that she experienced that night. The movie ends with Anna slumped on the floor, finally getting her revenge against the people who had defiled her.